Alright, hey everyone, so I just wanted to do this will probably be kind of a shorter video. This isn't really meant to be a tutorial, I just want to kind of document my process of installing the N64 digital. And I guess actually technically it's a reinstall because yeah, when I first did it, it was my first HDMI mod I'd ever done. I actually, it wasn't the cleanest mod. You can see what I had to do over here a little bit on this main Flux cable that I pulled out, but since then I've done several other N64 HDMI mods that have all turned out successfully. So anyway, I actually ordered a new one of these Flex cables, and so yeah, we'll be installing it in this Nintendo 64. And yes, if you like these videos, think they're interesting, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And yeah, anyway, I've already kind of taken this apart. You see I've taken out the expansion pack here, and then we can just look at the bottom here. Sounds like there's something loose in there too. I'll have to see what's rattling around in there. But yeah, I wanted to do this in Nintendo 64 specifically because you can see it's an NS300, so this is like one of the very last N64 models ever produced from what I can tell. So yeah, I wanted to do this because since N64 Digital also incorporates RGB, an RGB mod. So yeah, these ones aren't easily RGB modded, so yeah, I wanted to choose this one, plus supposedly the video output is a little cleaner on these later models. But yeah, this is a very late model though. Yeah, NS3. So yeah, maybe like from 2001 or something, not entirely sure. I'm pulling this off. So this is the first thing that was surprising to me. I don't know if someone else has pulled this apart. I'm gonna guess no. You can see this cartridge slot is actually green. Yeah, I've never seen that before. Usually they're gray in here, so that's really surprising. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe someone put it in here, but it doesn't fit. Like it doesn't look like it's been 3D printed or anything. It looks like it's from the factory. So yeah, I guess maybe Nintendo just started using green cartridge slots, or I don't know. Maybe this was for like one of their Fantastic systems, and towards the end of the N64's life, they started throwing them in here because they had extra parts. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was produced after the GameCube even came out. Yeah, not entirely sure about that, but anyway, it's interesting at least to think about. But yeah, so now we've got this in here though, and I'm gonna try to figure out if I can see what that piece was. Oh, okay, I just found it. Oh, this is unfortunate. So it looks like we have, let's see if I can get my pliers. By the way, I'll leave links to all these tools and stuff that I'm using, but looks like here's our problem. I'll have to try to glue this back on with some super glue. Yeah. So anyway, we will do that. But yeah, this is where one of the, let's see, it probably is on the top shell. Let's see if we can see where it, oh yep, that's where it broke off. So yeah, that's where one of the screws goes in. So yeah, we'll have to fix that. Anyway, yeah. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unscrew a bunch of these screws here. Oh wow, holy cow. Holy cow, this is way different. I have never seen a Nintendo 64 like this before. Wow, yeah, this is definitely a late model. Holy cow. Let's see what the CPU number is on the top. Wow, it's a 9. Yeah, this is definitely a late Nintendo 64. So yeah, this will definitely be a good one to install this in. But yeah, this heat sink is completely different. So usually on these, they're, I mean, not completely different, but it's significantly different. Usually on these, there's a ton of screws. There's probably like 12 screws on here that go in here, and then there's not the, you don't have these indents either for the two chips. I think this is the reality processing, and then I can't remember, but anyway, these two chips that are the main life force in Nintendo 64. Yeah, you can check out my other videos where I've done HDMI mods if you're interested to see what they look like. But yeah, this is very different. This is very surprising. So usually what I do though is I take out this screw, this screw, this screw. These are all the same. Looks like most of these screws on the side are the same. And then I take out this one, and then these for the expansion pack, and then this screw down here. And that's usually all I have to take out to then kind of pry this apart and I think that's probably, I'll probably be able to get away with that too here, but we'll have to see, because these, this is just missing a lot of screws from the regular Nintendo 64s, all the other ones I've ever seen. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take out the screws I just showed, and then we'll take a look at the actual motherboard. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention too, I'm also going to be taking out these two, or I guess these four silver screws. Yeah, anyway. Okay, yeah, it looks like it was just those screws. Yeah, and you can see the bottom of this. Yeah, this is different than what we usually see in the other Nintendo 64. So yeah, you can see these, they've consolidated the heatsink where, yeah, that top part just goes right through the shielding here. Yeah, you can see those cutouts around here. And then, yeah, these pads are what actually go on these chips here. Let's see, this is a little... Okay, there we go. Let me just set it down there so you can see this a little better. But yeah, so these pads are what are on these chips, just to kind of disperse the heat a little bit. But yeah, but now that we're actually in here, yeah, it does look pretty much just very similar to the other later model Nintendo 64 motherboards I've seen. So yeah, we'll just be taking this Flux cable, and yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to the official guide for how to install this. You can see exactly where to, if you're interested in doing this. Although the N64 digital, I guess, is technically outdated hardware. Yeah, the Pixel FX Retro Gem is now what they're selling, but it's very similar installation, at least for this part. But anyway, yeah, we're basically going to be soldering this on here. I think it's from pin 6, if my memory serves me well. But yeah, we'll just be soldering on here, really fine connections here. So I've got a helping hand that I'll be using, and with a magnifying glass. And yeah, just use leaded solder and hardly any at all, because it's really easy to make bridges on this. So anyway, yeah, I'll go ahead and attach this, and then we'll do the next part. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I got that attached. So yeah, it doesn't take, man, the first time I did this, this took me forever to do, and then I actually messed up really badly. But yeah, this time yeah, the more you practice with this, it just gets easier and easier. And yeah, this time it didn't take me terribly long, maybe like I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, which is, yeah, pretty, yeah, a lot better than before. That's for sure. But anyway, now I'm going to take, I think they call this the PIF Flex, if I remember correctly. But anyway, this basically just connects on here to these pins, and then we'll bend this over. I used these wires before on my other mod because, yeah, it was a little tricky to connect. But anyway, I'm looking at the actual document, though. I think they actually just bend this flex cable a little bit and then connect it directly here. So yeah, I'll kind of decide. I think I might just do that. It looks a little simpler, but I might use these wires I have here as well. So anyway, either way, though, I'm going to connect this now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got those connected. Yeah, before I was using those extension wires because I had to extend these out farther because, yeah, I messed up these pins on my original mod. But yeah, but now that everything is just connected directly here, now everything is just easily connected here. So now I'm going to fold this over and align it with the multi-out, and then I'm going to connect this this little cable here to this 5-volt pin right here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, right where it says 5 volts there. So anyway, go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I got that all bent over, and then soldered this wire on here for the 5 volts that will power the N64 digital. And yeah, so now I think we're ready to install the RGB Flex. So yeah, I was also able to salvage that from my previous install. However, looking at it, I think I might have actually ripped off, because it was kind of hard to get off, I think I might have ripped off some of the metal connectors on there. However, I was testing with the multimeter, and I think there's still a connection on all of them. So yeah, anyway, we'll try to do the best we can with that. By the way, you can hear this Zelda music. This is the previous mod I did, or the previous 64 that I modded, which I messed up, and I I actually had to repair this this chip on here. Yeah, because I actually broke off a bunch of these pins, and so I had to basically recreate the pins and solder directly onto this chip again. So anyway, I've just been letting it run for while I'm doing these this mod, just to make sure it's not or that it's working still. Yeah, and so far it's been working good, so yeah, just keep it running there. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the RGB Flux now. So yeah, I'll just show you on the bottom. I'll just solder it on there, and then I'll show you how it looks. Okay, here we go. So yeah, so I soldered this on here, and I tested these points with the multimeter too. Test them over here, and yeah, I think everything is connected. So yeah, hopefully this will work. We'll find out once we plug it in. But yeah, yeah, then we'll just kind of bend this over like this, and yeah, that should be good to plug into N64 digital. By the way, I changed the game to Smash Brothers. Did four computers with 99 lives, so they're gonna fight out, make sure this N64 is working correctly. So yeah, we'll see who wins. Yeah, got Mario, Wario, Blue Yoshi, and Donkey Kong. So anyway, yeah, but yeah, so the next step now I'm going to do is, so I'm going to take the bottom shell, this bottom shell of N64, and it's actually pretty dusty. I'm going to wait to dust it out, because when I shave out this plastic for the HDMI port, it's going to also have a lot of dust. So yeah, basically though, what I'm going to do is, let me actually grab the N64 digital board. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so this is the general idea. There is you can get a no-cut plastic fitting as well, where you don't have to cut the plastic. However, I like to cut the plastic because I like to use the analog out at the same time, otherwise they won't fit at the same time. But yeah, basically I'm just going to kind of mark this with this X-ACTO knife, more or less where it's supposed to go down. And then I'm just going to slowly use one of these files here. I've got a bunch of files. But yeah, you can see this is the one I've used a lot. But yeah, just kind of file down the plastic slowly, and just keep testing it to make sure that it don't file too much. Yeah, it's kind of like when you're cooking, don't want to add too much salt, because yeah, it's hard to take away the salt taste. Yeah, same thing here, you can't really add the plastic back. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and file this down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got that filed down. Yeah, I also had to file back here, this plastic. It was a little bit too tight. I also had to file on the other mod I did for the N64 digital. Yeah, anyway, yeah, now it's down. So yeah, I think this should be good. Oh, and I know this isn't like an official tutorial, but if you are using this as a reference, there is this little piece of plastic that you put down as well, which comes with this kit. Again, this is an outdated kit, so you're probably not using this as a reference at this point, but who knows, maybe. But anyway, that just kind of helps it be a little bit more stable. But yeah, yeah, I think at this point, I think I'm gonna clean out this case a little bit, just kind of blow all this off, get all this nasty plastic dust out of here. Probably do it outside. Yeah, and then I think we're at a good spot though, where we can start to plug in these ribbon cables. So the main flex will go in here, and then the RGB. Let's see, I think it was somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is. RGB goes there. Yeah, I think we're at a good spot where we can just kind of plug stuff in and see how it works. Oh yeah, an update on the match of the century. Looks like it's pretty well tied, except Donkey Kong is down 67. So yeah, anyway, might have given them too many lives, because I have a feeling I might finish this project before they finish. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, and I'm ready to test, so we're actually going to turn off this other 64. Yeah, it looks like Wario, we'll just say Wario's the winner because he has 39 lives, so yeah, Wario won. Anyway. Okay, so here we have everything plugged in, ready to test, and we're going to test composite video first, just to see if the regular functionality is working. And also, before we actually turn it on, I'm going to test 3.5 volts and ground to make sure that it's there's no connection here. So yeah, let me do that real quick. Okay, cool. I just tested it. So yeah, it's basically just with your multimeter. I tested. So this is 3.5, and then this is ground. So yeah, these should not be connected. If your multimeter says that they are, there's continuity between them, then that means that probably this bottom shielding is touching your N64 digital down here. So yeah, you might need to make sure all the plastic is filed down enough where it's farther down. Yeah, anyway, I think this should be good though. Yeah, if you do have problems though where this is touching these, at least the official N64 power supplies, I don't know about third-party ones, but the official ones have a fail-safe in them where they'll actually like just kind of turn off, and then you just wait 15 minutes and then they'll work again. So yeah, I've done that before. Anyway, I think we should be good to test composite. So yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. Okay, here's the moment of truth. We're only going to want to have this on for a few seconds. Okay, yeah, looks like it's working. Let's see if we got sound. Yep, got sound too. Okay, great. So composite's working. I'm going to quickly turn it off. Yeah, we don't want to have it on too long because since we don't have the heatsink on, we don't want these chips to heat up too much. I think they say like 15 to 30 seconds max. Yeah, anyway, composite's working, so let's go ahead and test out HDMI and RGB. Okay, here we go. So now I have it hooked up to the RetroTink 4K. I've got HDMI going into this as well as RGB SCART. So yeah, let's go ahead and turn it on. And I'm also going to pull up the menu here. So I'll push L, R, and then, L, R, then C right and D-pad right. To pull up on-screen menu while we're in HDMI mode, we should be able to see if all the pins are healthy. Okay, so yeah, I'm not getting signal, at least for video. I am getting sound though. You can hear the sound coming through. Tried SCART and HDMI. I wish I actually wasn't getting any sound on HDMI, but there is sound on SCART, so I'm going to look at this and see if I can figure out what's going on. Oh yeah, and by the way, while I'm figuring out that other thing, I think that I have 3 ideas of why it might not be working. First, the easiest thing is they might need to or put down that flex cable a little bit better. Second is the 5 volts might not be connected very well, so there may not be power gain to the N64 digital board. Or I may need to put on a little bit more solder on some of those points on the main flex. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to take a look at that. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to actually glue this little plastic piece down with some of this JB Weld plastic bonder. Yeah, this stuff is pretty powerful. And so yeah, I will use this, and then I'll just let this heal while I'm figuring out the other problem. Okay, I think I figured it out. Well, I did figure it out, at least partly. So yeah, so I actually had this ribbon cable turned around facing the wrong direction. So yeah, basically the pins on this ribbon cable face outward, whereas the RBG, they face inward. I did have the RBG flex right though, but anyway, now, so now I have my RetroTink 4K on RGB mode. We'll see when I turn this on. There you go, it's working. Yeah, it looks really sharp through RGB. Yep, looks good. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to turn this off. Then we're going to switch the input to HDMI. Okay, see what this looks like. Alright, so we have some distortion on HDMI. So, this is something else I'm going to have to look at. Okay, now I have the N64 plugged directly into the TV, and now we're not having that interference, so I'm going to say that this is except I moved the cable. Okay, I think it might just be because it was either connected to the RetroTink 4K or I don't have everything bolted down, because actually now I've seen some interference. So I'm going to try pulling everything down and see if that just fixes everything. Yeah, because now when I'm pushing it down with my finger here, it's that interference went away. So I'm going to say that it's just because it wasn't bolted down. Hopefully it should work through the RetroTink 4K as well. But anyway, I'm going to turn it off and then we will put it all back together. Oh yeah, and I'm also going to put a little bit of electrical tape on here. I probably would be fine without it, but just to make sure these connections don't touch the top heat sink / RF shielding. So yeah, anyway. Okay, there we go. I finally figured it out. So what it was is that since this is a reinstall, not a fresh install, I actually already had settings saved on my N64 digital, and so I actually had it set out output at 1440p, and however the RetroTink 4K cannot accept 1440p, or at least, well, apparently it can accept it, but it looks all messed up. So anyway, I just lowered the resolution and now it's working. So yeah, looks great. I think everything's working good. That, and I think a combination of also one of the HDMI cords I was using was maybe not the greatest, and so it was causing some interference. But yeah, got all that sorted out, and yeah. Oh, and also I think that electrical tape that I put on, I think that was a good idea, because I was actually looking at the official instructions and they suggest putting something like that on the shielding, and so yeah, I put it on the actual install, but yeah, you can put it on the shielding too, I guess. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it looks really good. Yes, this is HDMI going through the RetroTink 4K, and yeah, we can let me just pull up the menu here real quick. We can see all the, let's see here, this is a little tricky to do one-handed. Okay, hold on, let me pause the video. Okay, there we go. So yeah, we can go down here to system. I've already tried updating it and it's already updated, so that's good. Yeah, then we should be able to go down to info. Let's see, that's not what I wanted. Let's see here. Oh yeah, debug self-test. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, you can see hearts on all the ribbon cable leads that we did. So yeah, everything should be good. Oh, and actually, I guess before we end, I guess I actually never showed the HDMI cutout on the back, so I'll just show that real quick. So there we go, pretty flush. I think this is probably the cleanest one I've ever done. So yeah, anyway, just get better and better at this stuff. Yeah, and RGB is working as well. So anyway, yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. I will definitely include this N64 digital in future videos, testing cool stuff out. But yeah, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe and comment, all that stuff. We're working towards 1,000 subscribers now. Can't believe it. All right, well anyway, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.